Hey, what's up everybody? It's me, Just Keeks, back with a brand new video. And in today's video, I'll be going over an anime that I just finished watching the first season of. Uh, if you heard of it, it's called Vinland Saga. Highly recommend. This video is going to be full of a little bit of spoilers. I'm going to give my thoughts on the first season. I just wrapped it up. Watched it this week. I actually started maybe like a month ago, and I'd stopped at the third episode and just got back into it this week. So I just finished the first season, all 24 episodes. I'm gonna give my thoughts on it. So this intro is pre-warning that there are gonna be some spoilers. I'm not gonna spoil like the really big stuff, but I am kind of gonna talk about the main storyline that goes on throughout this season. So if you guys don't want to be spoiled at all, click onto another video, go watch something else, go watch the show because it is amazing and really good, and I highly recommend it. But if you've seen the show, you just want to hear someone else's thoughts on it, or maybe you don't mind spoilers, then keep watching. Anyways, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into the video.
Let's rock and roll, boys.
Alright, so Vinland Saga is about a young Viking boy named Thorfinn, who you can see in the image right here. Yeah, you can see him in the image right there. He is the son of a Viking warrior named Thors, who has chosen to put down his sword to live a life of peace, and doesn't want anything to do with fighting anymore. He just wants to live a peaceful, quiet life. Alright, so they live in a remote village in Iceland where Thorfinn grows up hearing stories from a character named Leif based on Leif Erikson, and you see that a lot in the show. The story in the show itself is not really based on any like Viking epics or anything like that. It's mostly a fictional story, but it does pull from sources of real life events and characters. Um, which I'm thinking about doing some other videos related to that for this. But for now, I'm just gonna talk about like the main story of the show. So Thorfinn's father, Thors, who I said was a great Viking warrior, wants to live a quiet life. He is asked to go help out the current king, ruler, whatever's going on. It's been a minute since I've seen like the first two episodes, so bear with me. I may have like the details wrong here, but really, it's all a fluke. There's an ambush planned against him and everything, but not knowing that, he gathers up his men and sets sail to assess the situation and all that. But Thorfinn here, supposed to stay home, he sneaks aboard the ship. So now he's with them, he's going with them, and they come across a group of pirates led by a man named Ashalad, who's been tasked with taking Thor's down. That's Thorfinn Dad. I don't know if I said his name earlier. But anyways, it all comes to a head where when Thor's takes out all of Ashalad's men, even his like second in command, dudes Ashalad wins, but with Thorfinn's life on the line, he offers up his life so Thorfinn can live. And so this is really where the journey begins for young Thorfinn. He's witnessed his father killed, and he's supposed to go back with the other villagers. They're all because of Thor's deal with Ashalad, that he would let his people go and everything. Well, Thorfinn instead sneaks on one of Ashalad's boat, or he might have used one. He's on a boat following them, and he follows them along as they go pillaging villages and stuff and everything. And all that he wants to do is to kill Ashalad. He even has a chance at one point to do it. Um, I'm, I'm gonna tell you, during that scene, I was just like, do it, kill him, just do it. Very intense scene, but because he's so young, he can't do it, even though he has the desire to do it and everything. Well, Ashalad, who's the leader of this group, decides that he's gonna let Thorfinn kind of be a part of the group, but not really. Basically tells him, "Hey, if you become a true warrior on the battlefield, I'll give you the proper duel that you want." And really, he's pretty much playing like a long game here, because obviously he's not gonna let Thorfinn really like kill him. He's using him um, to get what he wants. He sees that he's a good fighter and everything, and he's learning as the season goes along. It skips ahead a couple years. Thorfinn is, like I said, kind of part of the group, but not really. He doesn't consider himself to be. Some of the other members, they kind of do, but he's like, I'm not part of your group. I'm just here to kill Ashalad when he's ready. Except Ashalad is just kind of like just pulling him around, which he calls him out on it a couple of times, telling him that he's afraid and he's just running away. Meanwhile, Ashalad is just using Thorfinn um, for small, like, little missions, reconnaissance stuff, stuff like that. And so the main plot, well, like, the main plot of what's going on in the background, like, why this is all going on, is that the king of the Danes is taking over England. The king of England has gone into hiding. I was gonna say exile, like a self-exile, right? So King Swain is like taking over land and everything. Um, he has two sons, one named Harold, who at least you don't see in this season, but the main prince that's focused on is Prince Canute, a young timid guy who basically King Swain put him on the front lines, um, thinking that maybe battling would toughen him up, and hey, maybe he'll die in battle, and I don't have to worry about him anymore. And so not King, Prince Canute is looked after. I just started season 2, so I think that's why I was about to say King Canute. Prince Canute is looked after by this guy named Ragnar, who's like an ex-Viking, and this is during a time where like Christianity has come into the fray and everything. So there's like you still got your Vikings who believe the Norse gods, dying in battle, gets into Valhalla, that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, there are Vikings like Ragnar who are more leaning towards like the Christian side of things that are going on at this time. So what ends up happening is Prince Canute, I almost said king again, Prince Canute gets kidnapped, taken by another Viking party, and Ashlod decides, hey, we're gonna go rescue him, but we're gonna use it to our leverage. And so that's what they do. And then we finally get to a point in the storyline where things kind of come full circle. Prince Canute realizes that his father was probably just going to let him die, so he decides to betray him and kill him, and he comes up with a plan with that and everything. And Thorfinn ends up coming across um, one of his dad's friends that was with them when all that went down earlier with Ashalot and all that. Leaf. And Leaf tells him, his mother, sister, they're still alive. His mother's sick. He needs to go home. He needs to like stop this like foolish quest that he's on, and he has the opportunity. He's not a slave or anything. He doesn't have to. It's not that he has any loyalty to this group or anything, but Thorfinn wants vengeance for his dad, and so he decides to stay. And that's really the whole gist of it. There's a lot that goes on in the show. There's a lot of great moments. Ashlod, the main antagonist, was a great character. I definitely enjoyed like watching his scenes. He's one of those characters that's very calculating, always thinking. Um, he has this thing about him where like he can instantly like he looks at somebody and he can tell like just by their face like what kind of person they are and everything. It's a very interesting backstory too. Which if I do those videos that I want to do, like going over like the real life inspiration, we'll get like more into that. Um, his is more like loosely based, from what I understand. But anyways, yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't seen Vinland Saga, please go check it out. I try to keep this video as spoiler free as possible. As you can see, I kind of had to change the clothes in the middle of the video. Uh, the intro and everything before was filmed the day before, and then I had to like wrap this up. And yeah, so I'm excited for season 2. Like I said, I already started watching it. Um, I've already noticed like some things. They seem to have changed the voice actor for Prince Canute in the first season. He's voiced by the same guy. I'm not aware of his name right now, but he was voiced by the same guy who voiced Armin from Attack on Titan, which not the only Attack on Titan. Would you call that a reference? I wouldn't really call that a reference. Connection, not the only Attack on Titan connection it has here, because the first season was done by Wit Studio, who animated the first 3 seasons of Attack on Titan, and then for the second season of Vinland Saga, um, the animation moved over to Mappa Studios, who did the animation for the final season of Attack on Titan. So, so two different studios working on two different shows, at different seasons, right? Anyway, it's a fun show. You can watch it on if you have Crunchyroll, you can watch it on there. The only thing is like they don't have the first season. If you watch dubs, um, they don't have the first season in English. They have the second season, which like why would you have the second season dubbed in English but not the first? I don't know if that has anything to do with some kind of like with some rights, because there's actually 2 different English dubs, and I didn't know that before making this video. I was gonna add like a little more clips here and there, but all the clips I was finding were from like the Netflix English version, which I watched like a clip of, because of course I thought I didn't expect the voice to be any different, but the voices were so different. So I kind of prefer it. I guess because I watched the Crunchyroll dub first, that it's kind of like I'm used to it. But yeah, so it's on Crunchyroll, um, and but that the first season isn't in English. But if you enjoy subtitles, go ahead and watch it. But if you want to watch the first season in English, you can either watch it. You can watch the Netflix version. I believe it's still on there. I don't know. I don't have Netflix. I'm assuming it is. Or if you have Hulu, you can watch it on Hulu. Or like if you have Hulu plus like Disney Plus, and you can watch it on Disney Plus, which is what I watched the first season on. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, click that like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Love you guys.